So, hello, Kristen.
Hello, Lisa.
So good to see you, and I'm so happy that you are willing to do this interview with me. Yes, I want to introduce you shortly, and then you can introduce yourself. You're a very close friend of mine, and we've known each other for a very long time. I think almost 20 years. Because we've been in the Course in Miracles together in America, and you've done the Course in Miracles for a very long time. And I know that many people here are interested in the Course in Miracles, and that's why I thought I'm going to invite you for an interview. And also, you are offering amazing healing sessions. You are a fantastic healer and light channel, and you have so many different and interesting offerings. And I know how precious your work is, and I thought I'm going to ask you a few questions about it. So maybe we start with, who are you? What is your background? Just tell us a little bit.
Thank you, Lisa. Wow. That's always the question, isn't it? Who am I? that kind of opens the door to everything. So that is a good opening into my awakening experience and my work as a whole. So I'll start with the present moment, and I'll backtrack just a little to give some context. So right now I am based out of Wisconsin, USA. I practice healing arts, quantum healing, multidimensional healing, Reiki, as well as I am launching now some new work that I'm excited about, which is the Soma Awakening Breathwork Meditation, which I'll be offering one-on-one and in groups online, as well as eventually in person. I'm also a yoga teacher, certified yoga teacher, and a massage therapist. So I've done lots of different things. My background was actually in the sciences, and I used to be a marine biologist and ecologist. Because from a young age, I felt very called to really, I guess you could say, save the world, like to help, to serve, because I just saw, wow, there's such a need for that. There's seemed to be so many problems going on when I looked around me as a young person, and I wanted to really contribute. So I got into that field and then very rapidly got disillusioned, because I just saw no matter what I did on that level, at least for me, it was just like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Like it just seemed to be continually going down, and there was not really a solution objectively. And that's when that question, who am I really, like, what is my purpose? How can I contribute? That started to light up in me and activate. And so I underwent this whole transformation over the years. And that's when I got out of that field, went into the healing arts, into yoga, and then the Course in Miracles found me. And I discovered through my experience with the Course that the solution is there, but it's it's a transformation within that then reflects in my world. Like it has to start here. It can't be the other way around. So I was very fortunate to have a teacher who you also were, that's where we met, who was fully awakened and had that consistency of reality or truth, and would continually show that to me and myself with the energy, the Shakti, if you want to say Eastern tradition, where I got to have a full-blown, Kundalini awakening and have an experience of who I am beyond this identity, this body, beyond space and time, that experience of wholeness and truth that, we all yearn for, and that all the traditions, spiritual traditions, are all aspiring to. And I think for me, from a young age, it was always about, I was always looking for the universal experience. One that goes beyond concepts, that unifies all the traditions and lineages. It's not bound up in it has to be this or that. I wanted the one that was just universal.
Yeah.
And that's what drew me to the course, because that's what the course is for.
Mhm.
Even though it came in more of a Western languaging or Christian type, mystical Christian teaching, it's absolutely universal. And it heals the Christian reference for so many of us that knew there was some truth there, that the Christ consciousness was a real thing, but all the religiosity and the theology and the concepts and the dogma got so confused and misunderstood that we were turned off by it, a lot of us. And so the course came to literally heal that in me and to awaken me to that which, like, all of us want, that experience of feeling whole and feeling safe and feeling connected and getting free of fear and lack and limitation, to feel love, like actual, real, unconditional love as what we are, and light. And that's what, Yeshua or Jesus was completely offering. And so the course brought me back to that as a real experience. And I got to meet you and so many other beloved friends from all over the world. And just really quick, I'll add that, that this was about, like you say, 20 some years ago, a little more for me when this started. And when I came out here to Wisconsin to live in a community that was dedicated to this. So I began then going out and teaching it all over the world for many years. I traveled and I offered, these experiential workshops or intensives. And then when I wrapped up that sequence, I realized, I kind of need to integrate it here in my local community where I find myself, at least for now, for a while. And so that's when I launched more into like an integrated expression through my work, through the business, through healing, through offering transformational things on all different levels, where people could come in on any level. They don't have to know anything. They don't even have to be all about awakening or enlightenment. They could just come and I could serve them.
Awesome.
So that's how I got here, where I am now.
Listen to you, Kristen. I could really, I love to listen to you. It's just so beautiful, and I can really feel the light when you talk. And I think this is what, I mean, in my own awakening and transformation, it's really all about the experience of the light, right? Of the singularity and of the wholeness. And, one more question about the course, and then we can go on and you can talk about all the things you're offering now. Like, what would you say is a difference between the course or the experience of the course and more Eastern meditation techniques, or even other coaching techniques, because we are all into coaching, even myself. It's my profession, but still I can see there is a difference in the way you look at things, also in the way you experience it, in the way you talk, in the way you interact. It's just a different frequency and also a different mindset, and just because it's so valuable, the course is so, it's just such a precious thing. And I just it would be nice that you can talk about that.
Well, that's a great question. I'll just start by saying many of my friends came into A Course in Miracles through the Eastern route. They were literally over in India with different teachers and gurus, or even in Bali or wherever. And literally it was their time, and A Course in Miracles, like this light hit them, and they were handed A Course in Miracles. And it's funny because they weren't looking for it in that languaging. They were looking for it in another tradition that was more esoteric or ancient or whatever. And many of the teachers in India, even Sai Baba, Amma, other ones, literally told my friends, this is firsthand, Course in Miracles is the truth teaching of the West. It's the Vedanta, the Advaita Vedanta of the West, which means the singularity teaching. It is the universal truth coming to us in that languaging of our own heart, our own birth genetics this time. Many of us, maybe some people are Eastern that are here. But anyway, so A Course in Miracles is different. For me, I can speak from my experience. in that it teaches the singularity. So that's the same as the Advaita tradition. But it is very, for me in this English language or even German, it's very simple and it's very step by step. It gives me a very practical, mind-changing vehicle that I can do every day, that not only in my quiet time and in my meditations, but that I take out into my day. It's integrated. So I apply these ideas and these lessons, and my entire perception of everything starts to change around me, of my encounters. And it very rapidly takes me from darkness to light, or from separation to unity, from fear to love. So the love and the forgiveness is a very key part of it. It's not just about transcending and finding peace in my own quiet. It's about how to integrate and extend that into my world and see that my world and myself are one. Like, you know, it's all one whole thing. So that is different in that I couldn't quite access that through the Eastern tradition to that extent, because I wasn't born into that one. Although that's given me many gifts. And actually, when I was doing my yoga teacher training, you know, I had Adi Shankara, the teachings of the pure singularity that were part of our curriculum. And I opened the book, I forget the name of the book, but of his work. And the introduction was word per word identical to the introduction of the Course in Miracles.
Wow, that's amazing.
I was just like, you know, it was so cool, because I love stuff like that, where it just comes together.
It just comes together, I mean, that's really amazing, because, you know, even what you were talking about right now, I have to tell you something, because you were mentioning Sai Baba right now. And I just had a group call with my TIR group this morning. You know, I'm offering TIR from Bob Proctor, and we were doing a constellation work with Sai Baba. This morning he showed up in the constellation, you know, and sometimes I'm letting the master be part of the constellation, and it was such a surprise, because I'm not really connected to him, you know. I mean, I know him, but I'm not really. And he showed up, and now you were mentioning him. And that's the oneness, you know. And that's happening all the time, you know. Right now in my own personal life, it's like miracle after miracle after miracle, like happening all the time, like synchronicities constantly. And that's then, I mean, that's such a beautiful reference to see, you know, to see it reflected. And also what you were talking about is the light experience of the singularity, that once you know it, you can't lose it. You know, you can't really fool yourself into the illusion so much anymore, because you're aware. And I just loved it. And it's so simple and so aligned, and it's just so much bliss, you know. It's perfect.
Thank you. That's beautiful, Lisa. And one thing I want to add that is so amazing for me is let's see, how can I put this? So with A Course in Miracles, you have a daily lesson that's like a meditative, it's part meditation, part actual mind transforming, like mind training. And then you have a text, which is like kind of like the whole realignment of your thought system to think with the light, to think with truth, to think with God or source, right? And then you have the manual for teachers, which I actually recommend people read first, because it's short, it's simple, it answers all your questions. It's very easy to track with your conceptual mind, and it's quite amazing. So there's the 3 parts to the course. But for me, I was like really excited to do that work. But when the real amazing stuff started to happen was when my mind started to open with all of this energy pouring in. Like literally my crown opened, my heart, all of my energy centers opened right up. And I had like revelatory experiences of God, like ecstasy, of oneness, of beyond this world, that literally once you have those types of experiences, which most of us have had glimpses of, but maybe we quick forget it because we're trying to function
Yeah.
on this level in the world. But when you start to have those things be like a regular occurrence, you can never be fooled again
Yeah.
by the appearances that come and go here,
Yeah.
because that's an experience of certainty nobody can
Yeah.
take away from
Yeah.
you. And that's what the course is actually guiding us to, that awareness, and then integrating it right where you find yourself. So it's you can shine that energy and catalyze
Yeah, totally.
others around you to come into that frequency and feel the love and the joining and the forgiveness and the fulfillment of their true purpose.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's almost like you look through the illusion, right? You're like, because
Yes.
I also teach quantum healing, as you're a quantum healer, and you will talk a bit about it later. Like in the quantum physics, they discovered that behind the form is energy. There is this field, of vibration, and everything is vibration. And
Yes.
you can really be in a constant state of awareness of that. That's the cool thing, that it doesn't have to be some revelation you have once in a lifetime.
Yes.
It can be a constant thing. Like you can just live in that awareness of truth.
Yes.
And then people that come in touch with you, they will just feel it, That's what's happening to me all the time. People, I just talk to them and they're like, woof, the energy goes up so fast, and you don't even have to say much or talk much. And that's really cool.
Exactly. And I love that, because also our teacher, as you know, would teach this very quantumly, not even just in the wording of the course, but in all sorts of teaching it through music, through quantum, through poetry, through all sorts of things. But the thing for me, why I mentioned the thing about these bigger, revelatory openings is that I was so bored with all the spiritual concepts. I mean, from a young age, I had tried every lineage, every tradition, every ritual, and it was all great to a point. But then it's like, I just want the big experience. I want to really feel it and know it, so when those bigger experiences started to happen, I got really excited because I saw it was real. It wasn't just an endless process and time of stuff I had to do and practice and read. Like, it was happening in me. Holy cow, like, it's real, and it's happening inside, and it is quantum. And then later the quantum language and the quantum healing work came as a way to bridge, to make it a little more accessible.
The integration of that. That's actually, we have a similar story, although you were living more, like constantly in the center, and I was more like coming and going. But the similarity is that we were really young, when we started it. Like I was like you, I think you were 20, I was 20, and we started with this like really vertical alignment, and just like move truth. And I had the same thing. I really had to integrate it afterwards, not just in the human life, and just being grounded and living, and just how this whole reality here works. And that's also when I started to work as a healer and as a channel and as a teacher. And I think the same thing happened for you. So maybe now is a good moment to talk about your work, like all the beautiful things you're offering, the healing work and the breath work. And I think many people could need that, like, because you're such an amazing healer. Really, I'm not saying it because you're my friend, but totally, no, really, I totally trust you. It's so precious what you're offering. And just tell us about what you do.
Thank you so much. Wow, like my heart is so touched, Lisa. I really feel you. I feel the same way about you also, by the way. Yes, and it's identical. Like, we both came in so young, and we really did have to integrate at some point, because it was just, wow, so magnificent and out of this world what we were given and experiencing. But the real value is in just bringing it right into where you find yourself, and sharing, extending your own light. So for me, how that looks right now is I am, well, especially since the whole COVID-19 and everything hit, my work has had to really go remote. Like, I'm not really able to do much right now in person, if at all. So I have a website.
Yeah, like people, maybe they don't know what remote means. It means you offer
Oh,
it online through
yes. Like,
Zoom calls. Yeah.
yeah, distance
Yeah.
healing,
This
remote healing means that we can meet one-on-one here on Zoom
on Zoom.
or on the phone or on Facebook video or WhatsApp, like whatever works for anybody.
Mhm.
And I will give a full dedicated, like it's usually about an hour. Sometimes if,
Mhm.
it can go a little more or whatever, about an hour. And it's really a multi-dimensional healing experience. You can bring anything on any level that you need help with.
Mhm.
And I just open it up and I receive, and what comes through always amazes me too.
Mhm.
So it's pretty powerful work, and I'm excited to make that available. People can find it, more information about it on my website, which you'll post the
I will,
link. It's
yeah, I will link
yeah,
it there. Mhm.
yes, goldenarchealingarts.com, and I have a Facebook page also,
Mhm.
um, and a personal page. So yes, I'm offering that to anyone that would like to connect,
Yeah.
or if you want to call and just you ask questions about it first, that's okay too. If you have some questions, but you
Mhm.
can read it on my website. Maybe enough to just get excited and say, "Hey, I want to do this." Um, I know it's changed my life, this work. And the thing I love is the changes can come so much faster. Like
Mhm.
it's like an instantaneous shift of something that could have taken a long time
Yeah.
to kind
Mhm.
of work through or whatever. So we have that available. And then the other thing is starting the Soma Awakening Breathwork
Yeah.
meditations, which are going to be available also online in
Mhm.
groups. I'm going to start some
Yeah.
groups breathing together, and also one-on-one guided journeys. And
Mhm.
I tell you, this is mind-blowing work. It
Yeah.
brings together everything I love in one whole integrated experience and
Wow.
offering. And I'm going to be posting more about it, but essentially it uses the technology. It's like binaural beats, but it's the next level with music
Yeah.
and a breathing protocols that I guide you through that
Mhm.
shift you into the parasympathetic mode, and it just relaxes you, and then it opens you up for manifestation, for
Wow.
spiritual awakening, as well as healing on every level, emotional clearing, physical healing.
Wow.
Amazing. And it's really backed with science. They have article after article, studies about this specific type of breath work. It's
Uh-huh.
like it brings together the best of the Wim Hof with other
Ah,
things
yeah.
and integrates it. It also brings it harmonizes the sides of the brain
Yeah.
and lifts you into higher frequencies of consciousness. It
Wow.
brings the mind heart coherence in. Like
Wow.
it does many, many different levels of things all at the same time. And the best part is it doesn't take long time, and
Yeah.
it's fun. Like
Awesome.
it's
Mhm.
fun. So I'm going to be offering that very soon. I'm excited.
Okay.
And that
Interesting.
information will be coming on my website
I
and
would like to
Facebook.
try it. It sounds really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
like it.
never actually heard about Soma breath work, but the way you describe it, and also I saw about Wim Hof. I saw on Netflix a documentary, I think, about him, and I was
Yeah.
really amazed because they were telling that people from anxiety, like really stress, like very, very intense stress disorders,
Yes.
and even depression and post-traumatic stress disorders, and they were in the Netflix documentary. They were showing these people that really got healed
Oh yeah.
through their
It's amazing.
breathing.
And the fun thing is the guys that started Soma are friends with Wim
Ah,
Hof. They do Wim Hof's music for him. Like there's a great
ah,
collaboration, but the Soma takes it's a little more balanced with sort
yeah,
of male and female energy, and
okay,
it's a little more spiritual than the Wim Hof is wonderful, but
okay,
I like it because it appeals to the scientist in me
yeah,
and the spiritual being. Like
right.
the whole spectrum is represented in the Soma.
Great.
And it's fun because they're a great tribe to connect with as well, all over
Mhm.
the world. There's a lot of
Wow,
good support there.
great.
So yeah, this is going to be new, and I'm just really excited to share that.
Oh, I'm looking forward to do that. Yeah, and maybe you want to tell us about the pricing, like how much are you charging for a session, and also like maybe like some typical problems people could come to you with. You know,
Okay.
what is something like, you can treat, you're able to treat a problem.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or a symptomatic or something.
We're technically not allowed to use the word treat legally,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I mean,
You're
it's not,
not-
it can't take the place of medical, whatever. But that's just a technicality. So yes, my multidimensional healing or quantum healing work right now, I'm offering it at a reduced rate because everybody kind of needs it right now,
Yeah.
I think, with the situation. So it's $120 for a session. And then you can, I'm just doing them like, you don't have to book a package. You can if you want to, but I'm just keeping it that price. Usually it was a little more than that, like maybe $150 for introductory session, or the package,
150, right?
yeah, 50 US it was. Or if you were doing a package, I would bring it down. Otherwise, the going rate, because it's so specialized and required actually a lot of training, it's more like 300 a session. So 120 is a really good,
really good price for what you do.
To try it out right now. And it's pretty mind blowing. The soma, I don't know yet about pricing. I'll see once I get into that. But the healing work, actually, sorry, one thing, the somas, I'm going to start out offering some group breathing sessions for free. To get into, for people that have experiences, and then they'll be able to book in one-on-ones, and later we'll do, I'll charge for the group retreats and different things, but it'll be a great way to just jump in and have an experience.
Nice.
So the kinds of things for my healing work that people they've come with absolutely everything from physical issues that they've tried everything and have not had resolutions, emotional things that are unresolved,
like heartbreaks, people that have heartbreaks, that have lost someone, or a relationship that doesn't function well.
Absolutely. Things like conflicts with work, questions about purpose, and trying to line up with their gifts, or wanting to open their intuitive gifts, or connect more with their guides, or people that have just family issues, genetic patterns that they've been struggling with, they just cannot break free of. So yes, physical, emotional, spiritual, even like relationship stuff where we want to harmonize more situations in the workplace or in the family. It could be anything. That's what's so cool, because the quantum realm, it's the field of infinite possibility. It's like, for me, I actually go and access the Akashic record too. Like that.
You can really read it. I can tell.
So a lot of information comes through that's just helpful for clarity, for getting on track with your true purpose, your life, and all of the layers of that, whether you need the physical or emotional healing, or the spiritual alignment. I mean, it's all connected. Actually, it's all connected. But so I'll work on whatever shows up, in that moment. I'll work on it.
You're just a channel of light, right? Like, I mean, I think really what maybe what's the special thing about your work is that you really also come from this, from this place of truth. Like, you won't look on the problem with a human perspective. It's more the whole perspective, and that's really very, it's rare. Even the healers, I mean, many healers are great healers, but if you're not really in this awareness of wholeness and of truth, it's still so limited, and I think that's really your USP, your unique selling point.
Oh, thank you.
You have so much, I mean, you have so much experience in the course, and you're so, you're so aware and awake, and the way you look at things. So I think it's great. I can totally recommend.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That's beautiful. I feel the same way about you. I mean, it's been fun collaborating over the years, and working together in this. It's amazing how we can complement one another and share. I send some of my people to you because they can use what you offer, and we just pass the light. One thing that just came to my mind when you were speaking was that also it's really cool how the Course in Miracles refers to the miracle as a sudden shift in perception. It's an inner change that brings you literally into an experience of union and of love, of light. It's not an external phenomena, although it can show up also where suddenly the phenomena of your world suddenly changes. Your situation just changes out of the blue for no reason that you can see. That's because it changed in here first. So that's sort of the very short version of the miracle. But that's what the quantum healing work is too. It's like everybody keeps saying that comes for these sessions, even if they don't even know of A Course in Miracles or anything, they're like, oh my God, it's a miracle. Like it's a sudden change where you suddenly are restored to a sense of peace and wholeness and like,
and also it's lasting. I think that's the cool thing. It's something that really that's lasting. Once you, even when I look at some situations in my own life where I needed to forgive someone, a person that where I thought that they hurt me or they betrayed me. This is the human thing. And I know once I go through the portal of forgiveness. Once I really let go, I cannot go back. It's something that's there. It's like it's a recognition, and there is no way back. And I think that's also what the quantum healing and the miracle is about. It's a sudden shift, and it's something that lasts, that is there forever. And it's not a coming and going, and maybe or maybe not. It's really certain.
Yes. Yes, I love that expression, the portal of forgiveness. That's a very true thing. It really is. And on another side, the thing I also love about this work, the quantum healing work that you and I have been trained in, is that it's playful. Like the child inside loves it because you're playing in this field of just holographic, infinite possibility, and the subconscious, and not imagine, I mean you could say imagination, but more the part of us that's very visual and symbolic, and like as children we love those realms, like that all gets to come out again, and you reconnect with that, and that's where like real stuff happens. And you suddenly see it in your world too, like tangibly. So it's playful, it's fun, it's not like all this serious heavy business.
That's also what I really love about it. The lightness and the playfulness, even in my constellation work, because constellation work is something, in the paradigm of the world, it's a very serious thing. Like the constellation, it's very traumatic, and you just go deep and stuff. And now the way I'm doing it, it's really just fun, and there's so much healing happening and shifts, miracles. And you can just, this is the new paradigm also, that deep transformation can be with easiness and fun, with ease. It doesn't have to be so so put together and very serious and very emotional, not even emotional. It's just I think emotions are just energy that go through the body. It's just movement,
energy and motion.
That's it.
And it's fun because in the Course Jesus says to heal is to make happy. And it's the game that children, the happy children play as they remember the truth of who they are and the love that created them. So I like the parallels.
Totally.
And yet I like that we can express this in terminology that's universal. It doesn't always have to be in sort of the Christian terminology or even the Eastern terminology. It can be in a universal languaging, even in that sense, a little bit scientific. Or just playful, like it can be anything, but that it's a universal experience available to everyone. It's our birthright.
Totally, yes. And also, I'm working with so many healers and coaches and people I'm mentoring now, and I know that many of them have the thought, the belief that they are not ready. It's like it's this hesitation and this insecurity that you're not prepared enough. And you can really just, I just tell people to let go and just trust that everything is given, even the words and the language that are needed to speak to different persons with different, with different point of views of the world. So it's so you know, it's so individual also. It doesn't have to be just this. You can just tune into, you know, the
Yes.
higher, you know, these higher realms and just channel it, and then express the truth in whatever way is needed, right?
Yes. Yes. And that's true. It's always there when we need it. The trick is just giving some practical access portals, you could say,
Yes.
ways to relax and sort of get out of our own way, to just
Yeah.
calm down and open up and to trust. And believe me, you know, it's always going to be at first a little bit like, oh my God, but then you just show up anyway, right? This is my experience. And you just go, okay, here I am. And you just kind of quiet down, take some deep breaths, and all of a sudden something just starts happening and it flows.
Yeah.
And I love that. We're never really ready. You just have to take the leap of faith.
Yes. And jump into the water. Yeah. And just jump into it.
Exactly. And I love, again, the soma breath work is really great for that, because it shifts your chemistry, your brain frequency, your coherence.
Wow.
It calms you down so much. It gets you into a deeply meditative state very fast.
Yeah.
But you can even do some quick shift things when you need it.
Yeah.
Using this breathing, and it's very integrated. So I love that because it's very practical also. And it's something you can do on your own. Like, I can teach you how to do it.
So you're teaching the techniques and the tools to the people that they then can practice on their own.
It's both. Yeah, I'm good. I can do guided sessions, which has a whole value that's amazing. And then I can teach how to do it and incorporate it into your day and your life.
Awesome.
You know, because we need that. I mean, we all have such calling, you know, a service we need to perform, or we wouldn't be here. And I think that's a pretty common pattern, that you just feel like, oh my God, like I'm never going to be good enough, or I'm never going to be ready, or I'm going to mess up. And like, we just got to whoosh.
Yeah.
You know, and just,
you know, just be ready. That's it.
up. But we do need practical things to shift our awareness in those moments.
Yeah.
It's one thing to know it, but you got to feel it.
Yes. And
you can do anything.
Yes.
Everything is there for us.
And you're always prepared, and you're always at the right moment in the right location. It cannot be different, you know. That's the cool thing, because everybody is prepared. You know, it's just a matter of fact. And then, of course, you can just, you know, use all the tools you have, like the breathing and the healing and the course and the teaching. And then it's just playful and easy. And that's actually also already what the healing is, you know, to have a different perspective on the problem. You know, look at it. If you don't even look at it as a problem, that's already the shift. You know, if somebody tells you some phenomena, for example, in the body or an emotion, and you just shift it, and you don't look at it as a problem.
Yes.
Just, you know, a phenomenon. You're just looking at something that's moving.
Yes.
Then you relax, and then it can change, because it's changing anyway all the time.
Yes.
So cool. Yeah, you just have to find the opening. And that's also what, you know, Richard, like our teacher from the quantum healing, he's doing that with the opening. I loved it, you know, like you just find the opening, and then you just go with the flow in the healing session. Yeah. And it's something I'm using all the time. It's just great.
Yes. Beautifully expressed. Yeah. I love that. I really, really love that. That's so true. Because, you know, if we make it, you know, like a real thing, there's no way to resolve it. It's solid. You've suddenly just validated that, you know, although when you're in the middle of an experience and you need help, it feels very real. And that's why we need one another. Sometimes we need that connection or that reflection from you know, someone who's just at a little bit different frequency, that can kind of help come in and just dissolve that thing that felt so real and solid and insurmountable. All of a sudden, before you know it, it's just gone, and you're like, oh my God, how did that even happen?
I can't remember. Sometimes, you know, when this happens to me in my own personal life, it's like I really cannot even remember the problem. It's so gone that I almost have to find it in my mind, you know. I cannot really find it anymore. I'm like, it's just not there. It's just gone. And that's really cool. That's what the healing is.
Yes, it's so beautiful. One last thing I want to say, and this is also helpful. I mean, especially now. I mean, it's not that we're not always going through our transformational moments and our emotional processing, living just day to
Yeah.
day. But right now, in the world situation,
Mhm.
like it's bringing up a lot of core stuff,
Sure.
emotional
Yeah.
and fears and anxiety, tension for a lot of people. I mean, it's different for everyone. But the thing I'm loving, the healing work is amazing right now,
Mhm.
because you know it can just help us get back to our clear center
Yeah.
really quickly, where we can then be part of the solution and part of that frequency that's rising up out of this situation, the,
Mhm.
you know, the healing and the love and the transformational gifts. we
Yeah.
can we can be a part of that and offering that much more quickly
Mhm.
than if we're still, you know, if we're kind of struggling through it on our own.
I think
And
yeah.
the soma breath work too, oh my gosh, it helps you move those
Oh,
patterns
okay.
so fast, the emotional stuff,
Yeah.
even childhood trauma, whatever, like
Oh,
you can get
yeah.
through it so fast and you're suddenly in this euphoric blissful
Yeah.
state, and you didn't even have to go through this deep intense thing. It just moves it, you
Yeah.
know. And we need that now more than ever because of
Mhm.
the intensity of the world
Yeah.
situation. So
Totally. Wow, it sounds great. Yeah, I think also like right now people are really I mean, you can I think this is like a really a turning point in history, like every
yes,
crisis. And some you can really choose either you really go into pain and into suffering and into resistance also of what's happening,
yeah,
or you just see the gift in it. You know, it's always the other side of it. It's a law of polarity. Like there has to be another side of it. And when you trust enough and you can move to this other side, then you know then you really ask for help. And that's, I think this is really the gift in the situation right now, that
yes,
we're all so kind of forced to ask for help, you know, for a shift of perception. And
yes,
I actually can feel it in the collective really strongly now, like
oh
since,
yes,
yeah, it's like the energy is so high and
yes,
something is so different, like it's
yes,
you cannot even tell what it is, but you know it's different. Like even the way we function, the way we think, the way we perceive, like I really feel that we are as a collective human, you know, the humankind is really now evolving to a higher consciousness. And I can
yes.
feel it in my own perception, in the way I'm feeling and living. It's just, it's great. And I really think this is just the beginning, you know. This is
Yes.
just the beginning, and something even bigger is going to happen.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah,
Everything you said,
yeah,
100%. Yes, absolutely. It's the time. It's the wake up call,
it
and
is.
it's the time we get to go within, and like it's a shift. Like the entire trajectory of the course we were on was not sustainable. You
Yeah,
know, it could not keep going, and it was an intercession,
yeah,
literally
yeah.
divine intercession that's realigning our course. And I'm as intense as it all can be from moment to moment. I'm just so grateful, and I'm really using the opportunity, and I'm encouraging everyone that's with me, like you are, to do the
Mhm.
same. It's a
Yeah,
gift beyond what we could have ever come up with on our
it
own.
is. Yeah, great. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the interview. I really loved and enjoyed it. I love to talk to you. And yes, I'm going to link your personal profile with the interview. So maybe if people want to contact you, I think the easiest way is to friend you on Facebook and then write to you on Messenger. That's, I think that's a really easy and fast way. So I'm going to tag you and link your profile with the interview, and also put the link of your website. And yes,
Thank
we're
you.
in touch anyway. And I hope everybody enjoys the interview who sees it. You never know
Thank
what it's for. And yeah, I'm going to talk to you soon, and have a beautiful afternoon.
Lisa, I just want to say thank you so
Oh,
much for this opportunity. It was a pure joy. You're amazing. I
oh,
love the work you do. And I
thank
thank you
you.
just for everything, all the light you're shining and in your service. It's really beautiful to be a part of that. So
Thank you.
thank you. Lots of love to all of you. Blessings.
Thanks.
And
Bye.
ciao for now.
Bye.